Hi guys, Currency Games here with our weekly outlook for the week beginning the 9th of January. So in my opinion, we're back into full swing of things now. Obviously volatility is going to be a bit less still until probably February time, beginning of February, but me personally, I'm back into the swing of things, back into my routine and back onto the charts properly. So let's start off with Eurgbp here. We can start for the weekly time frame. So as you can see, we still have this fair value gap down here that we pointed out, and we also have this fair value gap down here, also paired with this order block here. Now, when you're on higher time frames like this, you've got to pay attention to all PD arrays very carefully. Even if it's not in a discount, I would still pay attention to it, because in context, this fair value gap here is not in a discount, but because it's on such a high time frame, we can still expect a reaction from there. Possibly, okay, so it's still something I would pay attention to, and also let me mark out this high here as well. Okay, now that's the weekly time from here marked out for us. Okay, going down to the daily, you can see daily has started to almost consolidate in this area here. So if I mark out the consolidation zone we're seeing currently, this area here we just moved sideways for the past few days, few weeks, should I say. Okay, now honestly what I'm expecting is to see how we react at this low right here. On the H12 is a bit clearer. Okay, we've come back to the structure high here, and we've kind of rejected off it again. You see this strong bearish candle going downwards. I want to see if we can manage to close below this low, or which is this red line here, and break structure to go downwards, or if we react off this week for value gap to maybe push up towards this weekly high just resting up here. Okay, now we could expect something like this to just continue to break lower, or we could expect almost a reaction down here to then go back up and possibly attack this order block here, or this high resting up here. Okay, but really and truly, for my main bias to be given, I want to see how we react to this low just here. Okay, going down to the H4, you can see we've broken structure to the downside here, and I'll mark that with this red line here. Okay, so it will be interesting to see possibly if we are going to break this low or even attack this low, if we can possibly see a retracement. God's sake, if we could possibly see a retracement up back into a premium to then go bearish. I do see this getting attacked either way, but it just matters if we reject it, or we actually break below it. But I do see a possible return back into discount in this H4 range to definitely come down and attack these lows. Okay, I'm really seeing these lows get targeted, considering they're pretty much equal lows here as well. I really want to see those lows get targeted going into the start of the week. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at on Eurgbp, but we need to see clear price action to prove it's going bearish before we do enter trades, because that's something I really want to pay attention going into the next week. Looking at the trades I've taken towards the end of last year, and I ain't really taken in trades this year so far, to be fair, only 8 days into the year, but towards the end of last year especially, I really want to pay attention to the individual printouts of each single candle. So I don't just want to see price hit this order block here and immediately get in sells, even though you shouldn't be doing that anyway. If I'm seeing price come up to this order block, okay, I still want to see how possibly the H4 candle forms after we hit this order block, if that makes sense. So let's say we get a massive bullish candle that comes up to this order block. Okay, say that, yeah. Okay, I would want to then see possibly a possible doji candle form here. Do not have that. Oh, there we go. That possible doji candle form there, and then another possible bearish candle here to signify we are going bearish, to show us a resistance at this level. Because one thing I noticed, and this is probably with a lot of people, just because there's an order block there doesn't necessarily mean price is going to go lower. Just because we have hit a fair value gap doesn't necessarily mean price is going to go lower. At the end of the day, we study price action, and price action is very, very, very crucial Okay, you still want to see how the candle prints. You still want to see the volume that's in each candle, because if you don't study the volume in each candle, you will end up getting setups up here and perhaps just blow through the order block. And then when you look back at the setup that you took based off this order block, you'll realize that really and truly the H4 didn't show any sign of bearishness. You just thought the holy grail was the order block or the fair value gap, but you didn't actually study the price action behind it. Do you know what I mean? So when I say I want to see how price reacts to these levels, that's what I mean. Okay, just because we have a level here and it looks so clean now, when New York or London and New York start, price action might tell you something different, and you might have to sit back, look at it again, and reevaluate the situation to probably come up with a different bias, or come out, or just stay out in the market in all. Don't take any trades at all. Don't even look at the market. Save it to the next day till price action is much clearer. Another thing you can look at as well is how does the H1. How's H1 structure looking off the H4 order block? As you can see, the H1 has pretty much blown past this low here, which is that H4 structure low. But again, look at how H1 structure is in line with the H4 PD array you're looking at. Okay, there's so many examples if you go back in price action where you might have a H4 level and the H1 structure is literally coming into that premium level, into that premium order block on the H4, and the H1 structure is clean with it. So maybe you might not need to look at H4 candles to solidify your entry, but maybe the H1 is really showing you clear price action that is going bearish, because the structure is clean, the price action is clean, and it's in a H4 order block. Do you know what I mean? So it's very important that you pay attention to price action, especially on the H1 and the H4 when you're on these, when you're going for these day trades, or even scalps. To be fair, scalps can be a little more versatile, but especially for day trades, which is mainly what I do, you really want to look at the price action on the H1. That's something I really want to solidify going into this year, is really paying attention to how candles print when we get into these areas, and not just taking trades because we actually touch this area and price is starting to react bearish, actually waiting for the candle closes to prove our point in going bearish or going long. If that makes sense. That's a little tip on price action there, a little study you should do. But yeah, it's very, very, very important. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at on Eurgbp. Now going into Euro USD. Okay, let's go on back on the weekly. We have this weekly order block here that you can see we've attacked. Now if we get the Fibonacci tool and we look at the range that we've come into, we are just, let me just mark that, we are just shy of, or have we tapped it? We're just shy of the 50% level. However, as this is a weekly level, again, you still got to respect it. Okay, you still got to respect it, don't disregard it. Okay, going down to the daily time frame, what have we done? We've then come down into daily discount as well, alongside this order block here, and as you can see, we've raided this low and then formed a massive bullish candle, as you can see here, which is engulfed this previous bearish candle. Going down to the H12, what can you also see? H12 MSB broke here with a clean bullish reaction. One thing we do have to take care, remember, we have this H12 order block here, and that's why I like the H12, because the H12 can almost give you the insight onto the daily, if that makes sense. So this H12 candle right here is something we've got to be wary of. Okay, going into London session tomorrow especially. Okay, going down to the H4 again, we have a H4 breaker here. Okay, we have a H4 order block here as well. We're coming to this major structural level. Okay, it's very important to review the price action that we get once we tap this H12 order block. Okay, maybe tomorrow is not the best time to take a trade. Maybe you want to see if this holds, or if this is going to get blown past. Okay, but in all honesty, because we've let's look at the monthly as well. Yeah, look at the monthly's close as well. Massive bullish candle here and a little rejection candle there as well. Because of how the weekly is forming here, we can possibly see this high here get taken out and possibly start to head towards this high here as well. But again, going into your USD, I do want to see how we react when we get to this zone up here, which is this H12 order block. Okay, that'll be all for today in my weekly review, and this is what I'll be looking at going into the week coming. There's a little tip on price action there as well for you guys as well. Like, don't disregard price action. Price action is trading, to be honest. Like, we're looking at candles, we're analyzing candles, and we're studying candles. It's the most important thing. Yes, we've got order, we've got fair value gaps, we've got market structure, we've got all of this, but price action is what you're trading at the end of the day. Like, that's what you have to study. Okay, but that's all for me today, guys. Like and subscribe, almost at 70 subscribers. You know, this channel is growing quite quickly, to be fair. So yeah, let's keep going, and yeah, enjoy your weekend, guys.